Alright, welcome guys to another Zelda adventure. Okay, we are going to add enemies right now. Okay, so let's open this up. We have our little guy, he runs around, gets all excited, he finally found the secret in the trees, hits the button, the sword appears, he's got a sword, there's no one to fight, there's no one to go. I closed off this little secret passageway, you'll see later, I got it. But there's nowhere to go, but you got a sword. Okay, so let's add some enemies, and we're going to do it in a fun way. Okay, so we want, when I make these games, I want you guys to be able to control and customize them easily. So I'm going to make a new function. Look, here's the end of our start function. Here's the end of end function show, and we're going to make a function enemies. Okay. Now with enemies, just like snow, we required something to put in. One of the things we're going to require is an amount. So we're going to say, tell us the amount of enemies you want, and tell us their health. Okay, I want to know what kind of health these enemies have. So you can make it as hard as you want. So now let's make a little for loop. Anything that you want to just throw out there really quick. You want like 20 enemies to spawn right away, then we're going to need to build a for loop. And so we're going to make that less than the amount. So it's going to go up to the amount. So whatever amount you pass in, that's how many guys this will make. And not equals equals, plus plus. Always hold down the shift key. Okay, so we have our for loop. Now let's build our little enemy right here. And then above him we'll add in some variables. So I made these little blobs, left and right blobs with Piscolab. Man, if you are good at images, feel free to make some for me and send them my way, and I will add them to these games, especially this player. I can't stand, I don't really like this player we got, so redo him, send him to me. I would love some good artwork to put into this game. Okay, so we're gonna go var blob, right? And it equals new sgs.image. And in the images, I have my blob. Let's make them all face right. .png. Okay, so we got a blob. First thing blob needs is a type. You guys know this drill. Type, we're gonna make blob. We're always gonna push him right. He's gonna be pushed right. We'll speed him up a little bit later. We can even make it random. He's gonna need a .move to. Okay, we'll make that random. We're going to need some friction, and we want friction 0 because we're going to just push him once and he's going to be going. Now we want him to be able to bounce off the walls. Actually, yeah, it'll be the walls. And then when you have him bounce off the walls, we have this little property in set H flip images. So horizontally flip the image when he hits the wall. We just made this little super easy way to do that so that you don't have to build all this custom code. So this one has to be left. Okay, so we have the flip images, and then blob.l is going to equal health. Okay, so whatever health we passed in, that'll get set to blob.l. Let's make it .h, that makes more sense. Or we could just spell it out health. We don't need to do shortcuts. Okay, so we have this blob. He's not going to really go anywhere, and he's going to move super slow. So let's do, and we need to specify where he needs to go. So let's first do our position X. So in the game, I want the blob to be able to show up in this lane. So you get the sword right here, and then blobs will appear up in this lane, and down below, down in this lane. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to first say var, let's do position X is equal to math.round, and we're going to round math.random times 920, and I'll walk you through these numbers in just a second. We're going to always add 40. Okay, so the minimum we can get is 40. Why do we want the minimum to be 40? Because I don't want him showing up in these trees. So if you look here on the left side, if he gets shown up at 40, he's going to end up in this tree. We want him inside the trees, even though he will go through the trees when he hits the wall. We'll figure out that later. Okay, so we're going to go inside this tree, and then the reason I did 920 is because now his max, if it does come out to 920, you add the 40, that's 960. We know that each grid space on here is 40 pixels long, so that would max him out to the edge of this tree. And the X will be the same in the top and the bottom. So now we need to make a top and a bottom. Okay, so now we're going to go var posy1. Okay, because we need the Y at the top and the Y at the bottom, then we'll random who goes where, because we like to random. So we're going to do a round again, and for this top one, remember there's one line of trees doing the top, so again we need to move them down 40 plus math.random, and then we're going to times that by 80. So the reason we're going to times it by 80 is that is 2 grid spaces at the minimum and 3 at the maximum. Okay, so that would mean that we have 3 grid spaces he can fall into. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this box right here, those are the grid spaces he can end up in. Okay, now we're going to do the bottom one. I did this math before, I didn't want to figure it out with you, but we have 3 down here, and we're going to have to add it up. Okay, so let's go var POS y2 equals math.round, and we need to go 640 plus math.random. I did these numbers, it's going to work. I don't know why you're doubting me. Times 80 again, because again, it's still 3 grid spaces we want to span, but at the minimum, we want to span grid spaces 640 all the way up to 720. And the reason is, if you look up here, this is our width, our height, and 1,000 is our width. Okay, so the most we can never do is 800. And so we don't want to be in the 800 territory, so we want to be one less than 800, which I believe is this. 40, no, this would only give us 720, so I guess we could probably move this up to 680. Because then we are one below. Okay, that looks good. Alright, so we have both of those. Now if we want to randomly pick between these, the easiest way is to just put it in an array. So let's make a Y array and set that equal to POS Y1 and POS Y2, and we'll just hard code that array, make it super easy. Now let's do speed. Let's get him some speed. That will work great. And oh, we also need this. Sorry, we need to make a number set equal to one of these, which it can only be 0 or 1, right? So I'm just going to make math.round. If you do math.round and then inside you put math.random, this will give you a number either 0 or 1 every time. Okay, so if it's a 0, then we get position y1's random number. If it's a 1, then we get position y2's random number. Okay, so last, let's do var speed, not spread, equals math.round. Again, I like to round. Math.random, and let's times that by, let's see, what's the fastest we want these guys to go? I don't know, 7. Okay, now we got to fill in these gaps. We're going to push him right by the variable of speed. He's going to move to POS X, and then we're going to move him to Y array of R. Okay, so this Y array means 0 and 1, so fill it up with either a 0 or 1 right there. Okay, so now we got friction. I think everything else is good. Okay, so now we need a way to call this. So we have our mount and our health. What I'm going to do is come up here to all these variables, and we did var amount, right? Let's do 20, and then let's go var health, and let's say they have 2 health, which we'll get into that in the next part of the video when we actually can use our sword. Okay, so we got an amount and a health. Now we need to say, okay, what's going to trigger this function enemies? We want to do it right away? I don't want to do it right away. I want them to explore. I want to figure out that button. Once they step on the button, though, we can either do it when they get the sword, when he gets the sword, or when he steps on the button. Let's do it when he steps on the button. So we're going to call the enemies, and then we need to pass in amount and health. That's what we call these variables, right? Amount and health. Okay, so let's save it. Come up here, I'm going to hit refresh. Sorry, it goes so slow. And the guide seems to disappear when it loads the pictures. Okay, so they're coming around, they're like, why is there a red tree there? I can't get to it. Oh, look, I found a way in. And then I click the button, boom. There's the sword. Oh, I was off. And there's all our enemies, and we got enemies up here. And right now we can just dance with them. Okay, so I was off. Do you see those guys in the trees? I was right before for some reason. That needs to be 40. That's just the bottom line. It's gotta be 40. And I made those guys 40 by 40, those little monster blobs. Okay, so let's get in here. Let's hit this button. Boom, and there they are. Look at these guys all just appeared all at once. They hit those sidewall. I could lower the edges. We could make it work, but that's okay. All right, so here we go. We got the guy. We got the guy. So that's how you can make the guys appear. Use a for loop and just put them all in at once. And this runs slow on the video. They go all in at once. You just write a function. If you want to change how many appear, all you have to do is edit this number. If you want to change their health, which we'll get to in the next video, you just edit that number. Okay, that's part 1. All right, we're gonna get into part 2 now. All right, hey, thanks for watching part 1. Part 2's in the next video. It's gonna be good, probably better than part 1. Anyway, if you have questions, come into Simply Coding. Over to our website, you can ask us with this, chat with us. You can start a 14-day trial, go through all the lessons, get you up to speed on all coding with JavaScript, Python, Java, HTML, CSS, and build some fun projects while doing it. We want you guys to build your own stuff, those ideas that you have. Be able to code them out yourself and show what you can do. Put it in a portfolio, and people will like it. You'll be able to get jobs. You'll be able to get into colleges. Absolutely. So thank you for watching, and we hope you watch the next one. Enjoy.